Dear colleagues from the Jewish Tradition faculty, I've invited you here especially to introduce you to the leadership module that is creating a shared vision of good teaching. And I would like to elaborate a little bit more about it. So this module is about a shared explicit understanding of what good teaching looks like and in our school. This is the idea that I find relevant to implement. It's important for me to stress that this module is not about a set of principles that everybody is supposed to know, like we value hands-on learning or we value child-centered approach. This module is more about describing what effective teachers do, how they plan lessons, how they manage classrooms, how they deal with parents and children. And basically, a shared vision of good teaching is the cornerstone of general any school's approach to professional learning, because a teacher is usually the one to grow in his or her profession. So this module consists of 5 workshops, and I would like to briefly cover the themes of this workshop. So the first workshop is developing a common language about instruction. You all know by practice that as soon as we talk to our colleagues and explain something, it's extremely important that the instructions are clear. And as soon as the school is a huge thing, it's a whole system, and the system should have the common language of talking. And talking about this, developing a common language about instruction, and so the most underlying questions that emerge are about what is a good vision of good teaching, where do visions of good teaching come from, and finally, why is a shared vision of good teaching is so essential for a strong program for new teachers as well as for the teachers that have been with the school for quite a time. And the basic objective of this workshop is to connect the teacher's personal views or opinions and experience together with the shared public and research-based visions of good teaching. In other words, to make the teachers realize, reflect on the skills that they already have and compare these skills to something that the international experience, that the Russia country experience tell. And through this, to help them to build through the path of growth. As well as this, the objective is to begin developing a common language for talking about good teaching. As soon as we have our meetings, we always stress one thing or another, but it doesn't mean that we speak a common language. We use the same terminology. We mean the same formats. So this workshop is about this. Finally, above all, it's very important that our colleagues do realize the importance of this shared vision of good teaching. And this I would call like a part of the induction program. It's good that the participants of this workshop could be the whole faculty staff. The second workshop is devoted to developing teaching standards. Indeed, if we have developed instruction of how we want to talk, we have singled out the language. The second issue is the content of what to talk about. And basically, these are the standards that we want to share with everybody. And of course, every school is aimed at reaching the highest standards. That is why this workshop is devoted to deepening the understanding of the role of teaching standards in the development of the effective teaching practice. The third workshop is about linking standards to goals for student learning. And here the essential questions that arise are what qualities would we like our graduates to have? And this is important that all the teachers share the knowledge of these questions and they agree about it, and this is what the workshop is about. And another question is what are we preparing our students to know and to be able to do? Within this workshop, it's important for to articulate for our colleagues and develop a consensus around the school's goals for students, as well as linking teaching standards to goals for student learning. And very logical continuation of this workshop is workshop number 4, and this is about examining standards. Before any school raises a standard, it's natural that we have to look through the international experience or any other experience that shows results, because this is what we are here for. And that is why the objective of the fourth workshop is about better understanding how standards reflect, we may say, community values, social values, and how they can affect teacher development and performance. Finally, the workshop 5 is devoted to developing standards. In other words, when we have accumulated our colleagues, and we did help them to accumulate all this international experience, to understand what the school is about, used to be about, is about, we are coming to developing the real standards with the fresh perception of what the school is like at the moment. And here the main objective is understanding the connection between the mission statements of the school, what this school, very school, is about, to the standards that it wants to achieve. As well as developing, and this is another objective, developing standards that support the school's missions and goals. In other words, I find this module extremely important for implementation, because it may bring us to the point of making everybody either to be reminded or to introduce the mission of the school, the goals of the school, and working out at the teacher's level, because our teachers in the classrooms, this is the main point of doing the teaching, to the best of the standards that are relevant to our goals and our missions. Our school is really unique, and the standards that we may achieve, I do believe, will enable the better fulfillment of the missions and goals of this school. Finally, so these 5 workshops, of course, require a lot of technical and organizational preparation, and this is why I would like you, like the heads of this Jewish faculty department, to study more. I would like to present a few links to you via mail about the continuation of every workshop, so that we could schedule this workshop to be finished till the end of February. Roughly, each workshop is about 3.5–4 hours. Maybe, if we cannot, time does not permit, we could split it into less. Maybe we could adapt it. I'm happy to say that the teacher learning project developed by the Mendel Center for Studies in Jewish Education is offering quite a rich number of handout materials, and the mentors are ready to support us online, and this is very effective. So I would like to get back to this issue with your ideas and your scheduling, the way you see it, depending on the staff engagement in 3 days. Thank you very much for your attention. Any questions, please?
Yes, I wanted to ask you for an example. What do you mean by streamlining terminology? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that.
Terminology.
You said common terminology.
Using the same
I want you to
language.
use the same language, the same terminology.
Because, for example, when we say that at the end of the term, yes, for that our school has some people that come on a contract-based for contract-based work here from another country, and that is why it could be a clash of understandings of the Russian system, or, for example, Israeli or American system. This is why something that sounds like the pre-final grades, and that are discussed 3 weeks in advance, and it has a certain Russian term, like a pedagogical meeting devoted to the pre-finals, could sound very foreign to somebody that has come to the school. Equally, for example, somebody with the international American experience could find the word induction very natural, while for the Russian employees, induction is more associated with the laws of physics, rather than introducing
The English people too.
The new people to the stuff. As well as this, we have this classroom management vocabulary, and have such words like timing that is very clear, but as soon as we talk about time management of the teacher, there are different differentiations occur, and it's very important that we understand what we're talking about.
Or project-based learning.
Yeah, like project-based learning, like child-centered learning, like individual approach, because this individual approach that sounds so nice in English, actually both in English and in Russian, has more specificities as soon as you talk about divisions.
So you
And this is the way to develop the methodological vocabulary of our staff, basically. It's also the growth in methodology, because as soon as you know the term, the name of the term, you have to know what the term is about. So if you know what the term is about, you start implementing this term, or at least you start talking about it.